helping other people succeed and empowering other people. Then I took like a career skills class and ended up with social work. And it really lined up with everything I want to do. Like, you never have to get stuck. You're always growing, and you're always growing with others. I was really happy when I came here.
I think Caroline's case is the perfect example of like the problem of rape culture and sexual violence in America. Like, something can happen.
I can easily
to you,
see
but
this as a
it's
segment
not
on
the
60 Minutes.
stereotypical
This one got my attention right off the bat with the use of voiceover and the different sort of news clips. I thought that was incredibly powerful, especially the Trump quote was pretty disturbing. And I really liked the transition from the Me Too into the title page. I thought that was really interesting and also gave quite a bit of context to the title. Overall, I just think that the subject is so brave for sharing her story and for doing this sort of work. And I felt that it was an empowering and uplifting documentary, but that it didn't try to sugarcoat or put a glossy finish on the real issues that are going on here.
But it was really great to be able to cut through the headlines, cut through the buzzwords, and really get to the heart of what empowerment does mean in this situation and how survivors can kind of reclaim that. And the intimate nature was great. They even started it out with the main woman's morning routine, which I thought was a really interesting way to invite you into the story. And I thought it was really well done.
I think it does a good job exploring that, identifying issues, showing us this particular woman's response to it, how it affected her personally, and everything beyond that, and the lengths she went to raise awareness and even affect policy at her college. And I think it's a strong story. It's an unfortunate circumstance, and it's 100% worth checking out.
I really, really loved this. It was such a great raw depiction of what a student on campus has to face, especially face their assailant every day, and yet try to go on with going to school, studying, dealing with regular life. And I find this film is very important. I really got a good sense of the vulnerability by the shots of the side profile. Every time they would have Carolyn shot, it was always from the side, and I feel like that really drew us into how vulnerable she is. And also, I really also got the sense of strength and strength with her female companions and friends that really, they're there for each other. And I find like they really depicted, it was a full sort of spectrum of an awful situation. Great job.
And in this film, I like that her friends supported her a lot, and they helped her to organize this movement in the college, and they also helped her to overcome all the judgments and stigmas that she faced.
Wow, so what to say? Excellent performance from the point of view of the interaction between the dialogues and monologues and the off-screen voices that refer to a very delicate topic that is addressed in the documentary. The sound quality is excellent, and I really enjoyed the moment when the image stopped on the protagonist's thoughtful gaze throughout her interviews. I appreciated the naturalness of the sequences of the images, and definitely takes courage to speak up and talk about this experience, but I think there's need to speak about it, and takes courage to even make this documentary. So perfect job.
Handled the topic or the subject with a lot of delicacy and restraint. It didn't sensationalize everything. It was very straightforward, very cleanly laid out. The primary premise was advocating for education and greater awareness as opposed to judgment per se. So I liked that was the tone of the film, and the the result or the aim was to promote education and better understanding of the situation and what people go through. One thing that I would have liked to have seen a bit more was the main character's journey. There seemed to be a little piece missing from her story, and that would be how she got from the devastation of that event, and whether she had professional help to get her along, because I think that might have been an important part to have shown that if you end up in this type of a situation, absolutely fight for justice, but B, also fight for your own self-care and your own self-health.
And you got me really emotional, and I think Caroline is such a strong, smart woman, and she's got really great people around her.
The first thing I think about after watching this is rape. Caroline was extremely brave to have this documented.
However powerful it was, and however she explained her point very well, it also didn't take away from the authenticity. She still was permitted and encouraged to tell her story the way that made sense for her and her language, but at the same time it was succinct, it was clever, it was very smooth. So all in all, this was wonderful to watch.
I liked the way that with the interviews especially, was really stripped down, and it was just a black backdrop, and there was no background music or anything else during those moments, especially with the main girl in it, because it almost forced you to kind of sit in that place, and it was very intense, and it was obviously something that was harder for her to talk about, and by not having anything in the background and not having any music, it really forced you to almost experience that with her, was, I think, really powerful.
This is such a frustrating story to watch, and I'm so grateful that the filmmakers were able to tell this story, and to Caroline for being willing to tell her story again and put it out there. I think it's important for everyone to see, but it's so frustrating that there are so many stories like this where situations like this are not taken seriously and not handled appropriately. And I think that telling stories like this is very important to continuing the momentum that is out there and working us towards a much better solution, a better way of handling these circumstances, because there's got to be something better.